Artest looking, gets it to Bryant. Bryant dribbling, has to put it up with the buzzer. Banks it in! He banks in the three! And the Lakers win the game!
Boom, baby. What is going on, Insurance Syndicate? Happy winning on Wednesday. You know what time it is. It is 9 a.m. Central. I am live here from Syndicate HQ. Start dropping in the comments that you can hear and see me, and go ahead and start dropping those weekly wins in there as well. You know the name of the show. It's Winning on Wednesday. That's what we're here for. I don't care how big or how small. We want to be able to celebrate you. I hope everybody is having an amazing kickstart to the week. Before we get into the show, shout out to our main sponsor, Viva Virtual Solutions. Seriously, we could not do it without them within our insurance agency, and then also here within the group through Lily. You see Lily. Hey, Lily. Good morning. Jimmy, I see you on here watching as well, man. I see a few others watching in and tune in. Let me know again that you can hear and see me. But yeah, shout out to Lily there in the comments. She is with Viva, and seriously, we could not do everything that we do here within the group. All the publishing, editing, the clipping on all the different platforms. I do a lot within social media, but I promise you I could not do it without Viva and their help there. And then also, again, within the agency, just everything that they're doing to help assist us on the administrative side, whether that's, certificates or even to like agent onboarding and contracting and licensing. They help us with policy reconciliation and commissions as well. So y'all, seriously, if you are in the market for a virtual assistant, I highly recommend you check out Viva. That is run through Rob Lopez, and they've been the main sponsor of the show now for probably a little bit over a year now, which is cool. I didn't even really realize it's been about a year. So again, shout out to Viva. Thanks for being the main sponsor of the show. Definitely recommend them. Like I said, y'all, hey, good morning, Kim. I see you in there. Hey, Rebecca, what's going on? Hey, T, what up? Guys, start dropping those weekly wins in the comments because you know what time it is. It's Winning on Wednesday. Like I said, that's what we're here for, y'all. So start dropping those weekly wins in the comments. Come on, I need to see them. I need to see them. Start dropping them in the comments. I don't care if you're even catching the replay. I will circle back and celebrate with you. My weekly win, gosh, I'm trying to think just in the past week or even just I said yesterday, I was having a conversation. I was like, man, it's been a freaking long week. They're like, bro, it's Tuesday. And I was like, I know. Yeah, I would probably say, I had softball last night, so it's funny. I'm kind of looking like I just came from a softball game. So we won like 15-4. So you guys know I play, it's just some beer league men's slow pitch softball on Tuesday night. So that's always fun. Late game though. 9:15 freaking start time always drives me crazy. That and really just, again, the internal agency in the team, and we're growing, we're writing business. I think that might've been my weekly win either last week or 2 weeks ago. But just seeing those sales, come through and really, again, just the collaboration and the team unifying and really starting to work together even more so and better and more efficient than we already were. So I would say that's probably my weekly win, just that internal agency growth, which, again, at the same time, I like that because it keeps me on my toes when it comes to a lot of you guys know, like when I'm recruiting and I'm selling, we're doing franchises now. So if I'm bringing on a franchisee and I've never even looked at a carrier system, or I don't know the appetite guidelines, or again, we're national. So just all the different things that are happening throughout the different states. So that is definitely a benefit for me, just again, when I'm going to recruit, when I'm going to speak to it. So it's kind of a win-win for me. It's my weekly win. It's my weekly win-win. I don't know. Maybe we'll start doing that. You guys can tell we'll go ahead and get into the show. We're probably not going to go a full hour. Do want this to be as interactive as possible. So please do not hesitate to drop in the comments any questions that you might have. You can tell if you've read through the description and saw my post. Was that last week? Maybe 2 weeks ago. We have released what we're calling the Call Syndicate. And so the Call Syndicate basically is an online platform. All you need is Wi-Fi, y'all, for our agents to be able to hop in and take customer-initiated inbound calls. We have partnered up with a company called Call Sync. It's called Call Syndicate because we white labeled it and stuff. So we're not generating. I'm just going to go ahead and say it up front. Like, we're not generating the calls. We're not running the ads and doing all of that. That all flows through Call Sync and AdSync Media is the parent company there. And we had their CEO on not too long ago, John Ventura. So you might have seen a little glimpse of this, but I wanted to take some time to literally just go through a full demo. Yours is going to look a little bit different just because it's Call Syndicate. So we white labeled it out. And again, there's been some updates, but I did get access to the actual demo environment. So I'm literally going to share my screen and walk us through literally what the Call Syndicate's going to be. Again, they are all customer initiated inbound calls. So the buyer intent is really high. The goal is to one call close them. And I guess I'll kind of just start there before I get into the system. Right now, it's not like a full CRM. It's not going to replace your phone systems and all that. You can still use it as a phone system, I guess, to one call close. But if there's any type of follow-up needed, anything that we're doing on the retention side of things, once you actually close an application, all of that's going to be done outside of the platform. So again, just know this is an inbound call platform. So it's not like you're going to have to ditch your CRM. You're going to have to ditch your phone system or anything. Keep all of that in place. You want that. This is more just kind of an add-on, a plug-in. There are some API functionalities where if you want, data to move back and forth, we can look at doing that. But again, this is an inbound call platform. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen here. If you guys can, let me know in the comments. I'm watching on my phone too to make sure my screen actually pops up. But let me know that you can see that. And then I will kind of get going and get into it. So I'll wait for a comment or two just to make sure you guys can actually see my screen. Lily, if you could drop that in the comments. Do you see my screen? Just want to make sure before I get going that everybody can see it. Okay, I think so. I think everybody can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and get going. Like I said, we are backed and powered by CallSync. So again, this is not something that me and Tony, have become like wizards and have 6 figures a day to spend on ads to start driving customer initiated inbound calls to y'all. We have chosen to partner with CallSync, which again is powered by a company called AdSync Media. CallSync, the platform itself, kind of why really I even started having the conversations and wanted them to become a preferred vendor here within the group. And outside of just the calls really is the mission statement behind the platform, which is to really empower kind of the underdog. Whether you're a single goodness agent or even a smaller agency that, or maybe an agency that's trying to become like an FMO. This is a platform where, again, the only cost or expense, I hate even using those words, I like to use the word investment, is if you take a billable call and go past a buffer period. So there's no setup fee, there's no monthly fees, you're not paying for minutes, there's not contracts or anything like this. Literally, it is log in, fund the wallet, and then start taking some calls and only pay for calls that go past the buffer period. So again, y'all, the company is CallSync. If you guys are interested as I'm going through this, just type Call Syndicate in the comments and I will circle back with you. I can very easily get you, your own login. You can add all your agents, your downline, depending on the vertical. If you can tell there within the actual description as well. This is for Medicare, English and Spanish. This is for final expense. This is for ACA, also English and Spanish. This is for under 65 is turning on. And then literally, we may even have it by tomorrow. We'll see, but I'm saying next week. But you can go ahead and get into the platform and start checking it out. We will have inbound auto calls. So for any of my PNC people, we will have the auto calls coming. But right now it is live for pretty much any of your, Medicare, life, health, verticals, anything like that. But again, I'm just going to kind of walk you through the system here. Oh, and of course my mouse just died on me. All right, 1 second. All right, should be good now. Oh my gosh, as soon as I say that, oh my gosh, I'm going to be bouncing back and forth. Okay. All right. We should be good now. So again, this is what it's going to look like for y'all when you hop in here. Again, you can see the verticals. Like I said, auto is coming out here very soon. But again, this is literally like you just create a free account. You're going to pop in here. You're going to choose whatever vertical. At this point in time, if you're doing multiple verticals, so I know a lot of people, if you're doing like, well, Medicare final expense, right? If you're cross selling, at this point in time, you can only funnel one vertical to you or to your agents. So again, just choose one vertical. But if you have a team that is doing multiples, just again, they would individually change their vertical within their login. But at this time, you could only have like one vertical coming through at the same time. Again, you're going to pop in here and choose your states. I'm just going to click through this just for the sake of time. The more states you have, y'all, anybody that's ever taken calls or leads and worked it like this, just know that, yes, the bigger geo footprint you have, the lower wait times you're going to have. Not to say that, hey, if you got one state, you may be able to get some calls, but it's going to be really long wait times. And sometimes it may not even be able to be, in a single day. So again, the more states you have, the more calls and the less wait time you're going to be able to take through this platform. Okay. If you just start with these states and then you add some non-residents, very easily you'll see once you get into the profile, you can just go in, update the states, hit save, and then you can start taking calls in those states as well. So you can always come back and adjust that. Hey, Danielle, good to see you on here. I hope you and the family are doing well. I was just actually talking to your husband yesterday. And I see Miles on here. What's up? What's up, Ollie? Ollie Sala. And actually, this company is the main sponsor of our Friday show, the Invested American podcast with Ollie and Alex. So good to see you on here, Ollie. You're just going to hit finish setup here, and then we're just going to kind of cruise through this tour. First thing is just the mic permission. Again, you guys, your browser probably already has this, but if you're showing red, that's because Chrome, or if you're using Firefox or Edge or anything like that, just make sure that the browser has access to the microphone. You'll always be able to hear the client, but they may not always be able to hear you. So again, just make sure that's showing green. Here's your little navigation menu. Again, super clean. Really, really, I love the UI of this dashboard and just the simplicity. I don't know. Put it in the comments if you guys are like me. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, like these crazy, powerful freaking CRMs and all the automation and everything that you can do with these things now, like it's freaking awesome, but it's confusing. It can be freaking complex. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. If I'm not alone, drop that in the comments as well. So again, here's your little navigation menu. I'm going to show you guys the wallet here. So this is where you're just adding your funds, whatever you want to add there. Okay. So you'll pay. Then you go to, and again, the funds, so it will hit your account when you add funds like to the wallet. But again, nothing will spend out of the wallet until you're actually taking calls. And I'll show you where you're going to be taking calls and also the two kind of safeguards that this system also has in place for our members as well. Your transaction history. So anything that you may need to get out for your bookkeeper, your CPA, that are just for your own records because you want to host it somewhere else, that's fine. Anything I'm showing you in here today, it will live in your login and your dashboard forever. But you can always very easily export this if you want an extra layer of separation there. That are, again, if you just want it for your own records. We're going to pop over here to call reports. This is probably, at least for the agent side, when it comes to E&O or when it comes to compliance and CMS, if you're on the Medicare side or anything just dealing with seniors, this is where all of your call recordings and your call recording URLs live. Your disposition, so you can see what happened on that call, the talk time, the agent. If you are an agency or an FMO, you can see all of those layers in between as well. Just depends on what type of report you're trying to pull. First thing I'll show you here is you're not seeing the phone number on every single caller number. That is because if you do not go past the buffer period, then you're not going to have that phone number, right? So again, anybody that's been in the industry for probably just a week, we know that we have a bunch of agents that like to do shortcuts. So again, they will not unlock or release this phone number for callback purposes unless you go past the buffer period. Again, I don't know all the buffers off the top of my head, but when you pop into the dashboard and select like which verticals, it'll tell you, hey, here's the cost per call, and then here's what the buffer time is. And again, for anybody that's new to this, so the cost per call, the only time you're paying for that call is if it goes past a buffer period. So again, I'll talk through how the calls are even flowing through in the system here very shortly as well. And again, like I said, to start, do not hesitate to ask any questions. So again, you'll have this. The goal of these, excuse me, is to one call close these callers, y'all. That's one thing I really liked about the company and about the dashboard is it's customer initiated inbound calls, right? So I guess just go ahead and talk through the workflow for you. Ads running everywhere, right? And they're spending crazy amounts of money on freaking ads. Like I said, me and Tony ain't the ones that are driving this traffic. We have just, chosen to collaborate and provide this dashboard to our members. If you guys want to hop in and take these calls for literally any vertical, just seems to kind of fit in with the vibe of the insurance syndicate and what we've created here. But again, it's ads running everywhere. The three main places they're running ads are like YouTube, Facebook, and then Google. So those are the three main ones. They're running ads like pretty much any and everywhere you can, but those are the three main ones. Once they click on that creative and that ad, then it will take them to a landing page where they're being pre-qualified, right? So even though you have the buffer to also qualify them yourselves, they are also pre-qualifying themselves within this landing page. Again, you'll know what all like the ad creatives and the pre-qualifiers, everything that CallSync is doing to drive this call to you. You'll know exactly what those are and how it all works. We can have that sent out to you through them. But again, they're getting to that landing page, but the only way that they can even get the button, basically this timer and this button to call now, is if they qualify themselves, green check mark, green check mark, green check mark. Any of those green checks goes red. I hate to say it, Miss Susie kind of just goes out into the ether, right? It won't ever even get through to the agent. Now, all of that to say, specific to the like Medicare final expense side, anything that you're dealing with seniors, obviously we know we're not the only ones that are running ads and trying to drive these calls and everything like that. So again, you are going to have some calls come through that maybe aren't qualified, but that is why you have the buffer period. It's why I freaking love this platform. So again, they're doing their job up front to pre-qualify them, but then you still have an additional 30, 45 seconds on the auto. I believe it's going to be 60 seconds to then qualify them again. So then if they don't meet the qualifications, maybe again, they're too old, they don't have a bank account, they're just say, screw you. As long as you're hanging up before that buffer period, then you will never actually pay for that call. Okay, so again, that's just kind of the workflow. Like I said, here's your call recordings. They say the leads or the calls or shit. Man, turns out maybe it's not the calls or the leads. Maybe it's the agent. So you can sit there and listen to that. Again, you can see the disposition, which I will talk about the importance of the disposition here shortly. And then ultimately this recording URL, like I said on the last page, anything you would maybe need to get out of here if you wanted to. Like I said, it'll forever live in here for y'all. But anything that you may want to get out as far as call recordings or anything for compliance sake, you can definitely very easily export that. And so that is pretty much it. So now I'm going to show you what it actually looks like to take a call. So again, you've logged in, you've created your free account. You'll see a call syndicate and everything up at the top. It looks super clean, and it's actually funny. It's like right on color with this new logo that I was creating. So again, you'll log in, you'll choose your vertical, add your states, put some money in the wallet. And at this point in time, y'all, you're pretty much ready to rock and roll. So you can see, obviously, I've got the green light here. And we're going to go ahead and hit play. And I'm going to go through really the two safeguards, one of those being a disposition for the agent that is taking these calls, right? A lot of the times, if you've ever worked with lead companies or taken calls or anything like that, it's a lot of the times it's hours of operation and call volume. Hey, when are you working and how much do you want, right? I know in my Allstate days when we were spending six figures a month on inbounds, it was like, you'd be sitting there and you're like, okay, all right, I'm going to go grab a bite to eat, or I'm going to go run an errand, or, whatever. I just get up from my desk. I come back, my phone rang 10 times. I wasn't even available, but I'm still paying for that call, right? And I didn't even get to talk to anybody. So in this platform, you'll see it when you get logged in. The only way that you can start taking a call is to actually hit play. So if you're not ready, just don't hit play, and you won't take calls. Therefore, you're not going to take a billable call and pay for it if you're not even ready, right? So that's one of the safeguards. And then I'll talk through the other safeguard as well. Again, you're just going to hit play. Call comes in. Okay. And then this here, again, you're going to see some little you can use this, plug in that. But a lot of the times, again, you're going to maybe be using Sunfire or FEX toolkits or something like that, if you're depending on the vertical you're using, or maybe a Raider, on the auto side of things. But again, here's the disposition. This is the second safeguard. You cannot take another call in this call platform until you disposition the current call that you are on. Again, going back to my Allstate days, because I've since been like organic, but now that my internal, kind of speaking about my weekly win, the internal agency is growing. I wanted to make sure that I was going to have enough volume to feed my agents, right? So that's how I even kind of got involved with Call Sync, was more on the auto side, but then kind of just fell in love with the platform and wanted to bring that here to the syndicate. But again, you cannot move on until you disposition. So I remember, again, we'd be spending all this money and you got these like, oh man, like they're literally getting ready to ink the deal over here, but then they see the phone ringing over here and they're like, oh, new hot lead. I'll come back to this one. And they never finish or solidify or get their signatures or send out what they need to send out because they want that new hot lead. You cannot, again, take another call. Nobody else can ring into you until you disposition the current call that you're on. So hopefully the goal is that disposition. Like I said, this is an inbound call, like customer initiated. So the other person on the other end of that line, like they are trying to buy from you right now. So again, that's kind of what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and just stop sharing here. Y'all, it is just an amazing platform. And I just wanted to bring that to you guys. And like I said, we're not going to go like the full hour or anything like that. I just wanted to show you what we are rolling out in what we call the Call Syndicate. It's white label, but again, I don't care. It's through Call Sync. Some people care about like it being white labeled and stuff, but I guess technically if you just wanted to, backdoor and go direct to them, you totally can. It'll be the same price. I don't care. This is just more, I'm trying to deliver something to y'all for any of our members to be able to hop on. Again, it doesn't matter the vertical. Auto should be live any day now, but they are definitely live on the Medicare side, the final expense, the ACA, as well as under 65 is a new one they just rolled out as well. So very excited for that. Going through that, I've definitely seen some comments and stuff. Okay, it looks like everybody could see it too. That's good. Sorry, I wasn't even paying attention to that. If you guys are catching this and you are interested in getting your free account in the Call Syndicate, just comment me below and I can totally set you up a free account. You won't even have to go and sign up and everything. We can literally like invite you through the Call Syndicate platform. And like I said, it's for Medicare, it's for final expense, it's for ACA under 65, and then auto is coming out very soon. So again, type me in the comments, even if you're catching the replay, if you would like to be added or if you're interested, just shoot me a message. If you don't want to comment, but just shoot me a message and we're more than happy. But if we're going to continue to roll this out for our agents, just a value add. And ultimately, again, y'all, like there ain't really much cost to it. And I thought that was pretty freaking cool where you guys can just hop in, throw some money into it, right? But it's not like, okay, I've got to, pay a $700 setup fee and then I've got, a $500 monthly fee, or you're paying per seat or per minute or whatever. It's literally just log in and start taking some calls and only pay for calls if they go past the buffer period. So I think it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. But y'all, that is pretty much all I have for you here this morning. Again, I'll stick around if you guys have any questions. But if I don't see anything come through, then I'll probably just wrap it up early. That was the main purpose of the show today. So I'll hang around just for a bit. I didn't see any weekly wins come through, guys. You guys drop those in the comments. I guess I can just we can just turn on some music, hang out here for a little bit. If you guys, seriously, if you have any questions or if you are catching the replay, just holler at me after. You can message me, you can comment me in the comments, literally whatever is easiest for you. But we are going to start rolling out the Call Syndicate. So we are excited for that. All right, y'all. I'm not seeing any questions or anything come through, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. We're right under 30 minutes. I like it. I'll let you guys get right back to your winning on Wednesday. But remember, it is the peak of the week, right? It is Wednesday. It is not time to slow down. It is time to keep the pedal to the floor. I appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in. Seriously, let me know if you have questions or if you want your free account, and get out there and let's get some wins. All right, y'all. Later.